What's up everybody, welcome to another video. Hope you're all doing well. Today I thought I'll just make a quick review of the Colombo CO2 Reactor. A lot of you guys have been asking about it, asking how long it lasted and if I would recommend this system. So that's what we'll be talking about today. For those of you who have no idea what this is, basically in this canister we added 3 ingredients. Citric acid, baking soda and water. And those 3 ingredients combined, they produce CO2. So after you add those ingredients, you screw on the lid. All those ingredients are going to start mixing together. They're going to start producing CO2. And pressure in this canister is going to start rising. I think the pressure is going to be all the way up to 20 bar. So there's quite a lot of pressure. And it takes up to about 12 hours or so. But as soon as you add the ingredients and you close the lid, you can start using it straight away. And then basically this works like a normal pressurized CO2 system. I mean, we have the canister that is filled with CO2. The lid basically acts as the regulator. So there's a needle valve, there's a bubble counter, and this one also has a solenoid. So we can hook it up to a timer and have CO2 on only during the photo period. So that's just a really quick introduction into this whole product. If you want to see the entire unboxing and installation video, I'll leave a link on the top of the screen and in the video description below. So I hooked up this system to one of my 20-liter nano aquascapes on the shelf behind me, and I've plugged the solenoid into a smart socket, and I've set the schedule from 11 AM till 7:30 in the evening. So we had about 8.5 hours of CO2 every day, and after I did that I just left it. I just forgot about it. I didn't pay attention to it anymore. So let's create a little timeline here. I first set this up on the 3rd of February this year. So that's literally like 5 months ago now. Then we go straight to the middle of March. That's when I did the update video, because that's when already a lot of people were asking me if it's still running or if it has finished already. So in the middle of March, I did an update. So that was already 6 weeks in. After 6 weeks, the pressure had dropped to about just above 10 bars. So I thought I was, halfway with the CO2. So I thought I had another 6 weeks left or so. And I mean, if I could get a total of 12 weeks out of this CO2 system, I would be pretty happy. Alright, then we jumped to the end of March. So we were basically at 2 months. At the end of March, I actually rescaped that little tank and I unplugged the CO2 for 2, maybe 3 days maximum. So that's no big deal. I created a new scape, the Iwagumi that it is now. Installed the CO2 system again. And just let it be, forgot about it. And then the next time I checked it, it was already beginning of May, 2nd of May, so then we were at 3 months. And that's when I noticed the pressure gauge, that the indicator had dropped just below the green level. I have an image, I'll overlay the image and you can see that the pressure is just below the green level. And that's when I noticed that the pressure had dropped just a little bit basically. Because when I initially set it up, I set the bubble count to 2 or 3 bubbles per second. No, sorry. 1 bubble per 2-3 seconds. And when I checked it again in May, it was 1 bubble per 5 seconds basically. So the pressure, I guess because the pressure dropped, I was getting a little bit less bubbles per second. For me, this was not really a big deal at all, because I was running it on an Iwagumi with only a carpet of plants, so I really didn't need that much CO2. So 1 bubble per 5 seconds was enough for that. And I kept it running and I didn't change it. I could have opened the needle valve a bit more and increased the CO2, but that was not necessary. And then we make the last jump to the 19th of June. And it was on a Saturday. I came home from work and then I noticed that the CO2 was not working on that tank. So that's when that's basically when it was empty, and I thought, okay, this is it. So there was a total of 136 days of CO2 from this little system. I think that's quite impressive. Of course, it only lasted that long because I used it on a 20-liter aquascape and I used it with only 1 bubble per 5 seconds. So it makes sense that it would last such a long time. So the next day, so the 20th of June, I decided to clean it up and to refill it basically. Now I have to give credit to a guy named William Aaron Hicks. He commented on the original unboxing video of the CO2 system, basically saying that he had the exact same system and he had just refilled it. And he left a massive detailed instruction of how to clean it, what to expect and how to refill it. So William, if you're watching this, thank you very much. I followed your instructions to the letter. It was super helpful. I'll leave your instructions in the video description so other people can use it as well. I wanted to make sure that all the CO2 gas was gone before I would unscrew the lid. So I opened the needle valve completely, just to make sure that all the CO2 gas is out, and to make sure that when I unscrew the lid it's not gonna pop off or something. So I opened the needle valve completely, and when I did that, actually still quite a lot of CO2 bubbles came out. So I think technically I still could have gotten a few more days out of it, but I guess we'll try that next time. Once that was done, I opened the lid, and then you're just left with all the residue, I guess. So there's a lot of water that's still in there. It kind of smells a bit funky, and there's a lot of crystals, so all the citric acid and baking soda that has not been dissolved. There was still some chunks in there. So I poured all that out, rinsed the canister with really hot water, let it dry a little bit, and then it was ready for another refill. And the whole emptying, cleaning and refilling took me about less than 30 minutes, I think. And yeah, now it's up and running again. It's been running for almost 2 weeks again. So let's see how long we're gonna get out of it this time. 136 days or maybe even longer, who knows. Oh yeah, by the way, the filter that is attached to the lid, I didn't touch it at all. I couldn't find any instructions on when to replace that filter. Basically the idea behind that filter is that it would dry the CO2 gas completely before it goes through the regulator and through the needle valve, because yeah, you are making CO2 from water, citric acid and baking soda, and I assume that reaction is going to start producing some foam. The foam will rise to the top and then has to go through the regulator, clean of course. So I think that's why we have the filter there. So I didn't touch the filter and it looked completely clean, so I just thought I'll just give it another round. So my whole experience with this CO2 system has actually been really good. It does exactly what it's supposed to do, and I have nothing to complain about really. It's easy to set up. It's kind of fun to make your own CO2 as well. I think it's well built. I mean, it's made from strong materials, and even though there's 20 bars of pressure inside, you're not scared anything's gonna happen. And it basically works exactly like a normal pressurized CO2 system. But what I like about it the most is the convenience of the refill. So I found out that it was empty on a Saturday evening. So if this would have been a normal pressurized cylinder, I would have been pretty screwed, because I can't get a refill on a Sunday. On Monday, I might be busy with work. So, and this only took me an hour to refill, and I didn't have to leave my home for that. Of course you need to have the ingredients at home, but if you have the ingredients at home, then it's super easy to refill. Now I do think that this CO2 system has some limitations, especially on the size of the aquarium that you can use this with. I mean, I got 136 days out of it, almost 5 months, and that looks very impressive of course. But I used it on a 20-liter tank with 1 bubble per 5 seconds, so of course it's gonna last a very long time. There's still only 100 grams of CO2 inside here, 105 grams. So the bigger the tank, bigger your aquarium, the quicker you're gonna go through that 105 grams. So that is definitely a limitation, and me personally, I probably wouldn't use this on anything larger than 80 liters, 20 gallons. Anything bigger than that, and you're just going to be refilling this system every week or so, and I don't think that's what you want to be doing. Another issue is the price of this system. I checked it again, the prices, and they are still at about 180 euros to 200 euros, so that's roughly $220, and that's still without the refill. So you have to buy the refill separately for 15 euros. For the same price, you can have this Plantedbox professional CO2 system with a 2 kilogram pressurized bottle. It's gonna last you a lot longer than the Colombo CO2 reactor with 100 grams of CO2. And if you wanna pick one of these up, I'll leave a link in the description down below. Alright guys, that's my review and my experience with the Colombo CO2 reactor. Basically, to sum it up, I think it's a cool CO2 system. It's fun to make your own CO2 as well. I think it's a good system for nano tanks, but it is a little bit pricey. Yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.